As you can see in my video, I have my yarn and my crochet hook. Crochet hook is, in fact, a G6 425. I can't really see the thing. It's a G hook. It is a boil hook. I actually use different types of hooks, but the boil's the one that I had closest. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the turtle body. Okay, so you're gonna do your magic circle. It doesn't matter how you do your magic circle. This is how I always do it. I go, and whenever I get my first loop onto my hook, I drop the actual circle itself and go 1, 2. So this is how my magic circle starts out. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to do 12 double crochets beside where I just done the two chains inside the magic circle. So there's 1, 2, 3. As soon as you get done with the 12 single crochets, I will give you step by step on how to do the rest of it. Now you should have your 12 double crochets inside the magic hook. Depending on how wide you made it will depend on how long your chain's going to be. Now you're going to take this part, the one that's not connected anywhere, it's the tail. You're going to take that tail and you're just going to pull it until you get your circle tight. And then to this hook, this chain right here, the chain that is the top part of the double chain 2 that goes into your double crochet, first double crochet. So I'll do this. Let's see if we can get a better view of it, which chain it is. And you're gonna, oops, didn't have my other yarn on there. You're going to slip stitch into that chain. Try not to get your tail and your working yarn mixed up. I've had that happen to me before, but yeah, it does get a little confusing. But there is your first circle. And as you don't have to mark your chains. Everything will work out perfectly at the end. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go 1, 2, and you're going to double crochet into this spot right here. It's right directly where you did your chain at. Same stitch as the chain. And what I do is I work in sections of 3. The way that I remember it is the first chain is going to be considered 1, which is what we're doing right now. Second chain is going to be 2 and 3 because you're working 2 stitches into the next chain. So you're going to go 1. That was the first chain. Second chain. 2 and 3. And you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around. Whenever you get to the last 2 and 3, I will be back with you to let you know what to do the next. Excuse the background, that's my youngest and my eldest child being pains like always, but it's alright. Alright, so remember, it's 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2 and 3. Or you can remember it as 1, 1 and 2. Either way that is easier for you to keep up with what stitch you're on, you can go with it. And it doesn't really matter how you keep up with the count. I mean, technically, I guess there's really not much of a count. It's just the same design over and over again. So I'm working on the last 1, 2, and 3. There's 1, 2, and 3. Now, you will notice that there is a pretty good sized gap between that. So what I do is I do another double crochet into the back of here. See if I can get it close enough without it being blurry. There we go. Okay. Right here is a chain space. So you're going to take and you're going to do your double crochet right there. Once you do that, you'll come up here to the top of this and you'll follow the double crochet and it'll lead you right to that spot. Same chain that you used at the bottom to do your stitch to hold it. Now, yes, you'll notice that there is a gap in the middle. But what's good about the magic circle is you can tighten that gap up every time that it gets to be big. And when you're finished with the project, you can weave it in and it'll be tight, perfect, no issues. Alright, what you're going to start to do, or what I do, is I always take my work, and since this is my outside, I always have it where it's already nice and shaped. Again, take your working yarn, and this time when you do your chain 2, same stitch, you're going to do 1. Your next stitch, you're going to do 1, and then you're going to do 2. So the way I remember it is 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to do this around. I'll go ahead and show you how I've gotten it so far. Okay, so your chain, and then you've got the first double crochet and the chain spot exactly the same as that chain. Okay, and then it's there, and then 2 into the next chain. But as you can see, it leaves that back space behind where you've done your chains. Now just repeat that around the 1 first chain, 1 or well, first stitch is 1, second stitch is 1, third stitch is 2. And then you're going to repeat. 1, 1, and 2. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish this all the way to the end, and I will stop before the join to show you what I'm going to be doing. Alright, so there's okay, now we're at the end. So there's 1, 2, 3, alright, now with this, you're gonna double crochet into, okay, so now you're gonna notice you have this spot right here and this spot right there open. So you're gonna double crochet 1 and into the next spot, which is where your chain is, your 2 chains. You do have a spot right there, and you're going to do a double crochet right there. So that makes it the 1, 2 again. And then you're going to slip stitch at the top. Now you can either leave the body of your turtle this small, or you can add another row. If you want to add another row, you do the same method. The reason why I do the whole 1, 2, 3 and then the 1, 2, 3, 4 is because for me it makes it easier on knowing what the next step will be. The next row is going to be it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to have 4 and 5 in the same stitch. I'll go ahead and show you what I mean by that. I'm not actually going to do the larger size, but this will give you an idea of how to go about making it larger if you want to. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3 into the first 3 spots, and then 4 and 5, and you're going to repeat that around. So it's where your chain is. Oops, where your chain is right here. You've got your first double crochet, which counts as 1 right here, and then 2 and your 3. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and 5. So your next row, if you wanted to go up another size, would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in this stitch it would be 5 and 6. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and undo that part and bring it back to where we had done our slip stitch join. Now this is how you go into making the head. You're going to take and you're going to chain 1, and in that same stitch that your join was in, you're going to crochet 1 and go over 2 and 1 more for good measures, which would make it 3. So you're going to chain 1, turn, same chain as the slips as your chain, and then it's 1, 2, and 3. Now you're going to constantly, chain 1, turn, and do 3 again. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, turn, 1, 2, and 3. Now what you're going to do is you're going to chain 1, turn, and you're going to do 2 single crochets in the first spot. So instead of it going 1, 2, 3, it's going to go 1, 2. There's 1, 2. You're going to have 3, and then you're going to do 2 single crochets in the last stitch. 3. That was 4 and 5. Now chain 1, do the same thing. You're going to add 2 to the first stitch. 1, 2, and then you're going to go singles. 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to do a double at the end. 1 and 2. And you're going to do that until you think that the head is as large as you want it. I'm going to do 1 more row, so I'm going to add 2. There's going to be 1 and 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then we're going to do 2. There's 1 and 2. Okay, now what I do now is I take this is how big I want it in my head. You're going to sit there and you're going to pinch it together. And now this is a little bit more tricky doing it this way, but you're going to take your hook and you're going to come across both sides and you're going to do a single crochet in that spot. So there's 1, next stitches, 2, next group of stitches, 3, next group of stitches, and that's your last stitch, so it's going to be 4. Now you can actually take and add stuffing to your head if you want to have your head stuffed a little, but you're not going to end off, you're not going to fasten off, you're still going to work it down all the way through. So what I do is after I finish that, I'm going to turn my project and I'm going to go into that stitch and I'm going to do a slip stitch right there. And then I'm going to slip stitch, oops, all the way down. And then what I do is with this slip stitch, once I do it, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to come into the same stitch that we done the first single crochet in, and I'm going to do another single crochet. And then I'm going to come in and into all the spaces that you can see here. So you've got this space, this one, this one, this one, and this one, all the way back until you get to the body, which I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, counting the one that's at the body. So you're going to single crochet in those next 6 spots. So there is 1, there is 2, there is 3, there is 4, there is 5, and you're gonna do your single crochet, and like I said, if you wanted to stuff your head, you could, so that it's not a flat way. If you want to see what this is non-stuffed. If you want to see what it would be stuffed, hold on one second. I'm going to go back to up here. I don't have any stuffing right now, so I'm just going to take some scrap yarn and put into the head. That way, it'll give it the rounded look that it needs to be the turtle head. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish my spots. It'll still be the same way with the stuffing as without. Oh, as you can tell, my youngins just don't get along very well whenever I'm trying to do stuff. I think that's why mostly I don't do videos. And I really haven't written a pattern yet. So this is my first video and my first actual written pattern that I'm giving y'all. So kudos to everyone who asked for this pattern. In the 6th stitch, if you want that, you can actually slip stitch into that stitch instead of doing the single crochet here at the body. So your stitch here at the body, you can see, take and just do a slip stitch, and then slip stitch, and take your scissors, cut a long enough tail. It doesn't really have to be a long tail, but I like having the extra tails. And there is your body and your head. Now for your legs. This right here is how I do my legs. So I do my oh, I can't even think of the word. I put the yarn, or oh, hold on one second. Okay, I am back to finish what I had started. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to do a slip knot onto your hook. And what I do is I chain, this is for your legs, so you're going to chain 4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, you're going to come over, and the second chain from the hook, you're going to do a single crochet. And then you're going to single crochet into the next chain. And you're going to single crochet into the next chain. And now you're going to keep working, so you're going to do another single crochet into that same chain that you just single crocheted in. And then you're going to single crochet into the next chain and into the next. So it's going to make a circle type design. And now you don't join here. This is just working in rounds. So you're going to continue the single crochets all the way around. This time it's just 1 single crochet into each stitch until you get how you want your leg to be, how big you want it. I will show you what I do with my legs to give it that cleaner look whenever you're doing the crocheting. Hold on one second. This will be my last stitch for right now, because now I'm going to take and I'm going to flip it inside out. With the legs, you do not have to add stuffing. I don't do stuffing in the legs because there's no point in it. The legs hold shape. They do what they need to do. They hold the turtle up. So you're going to continue to work in rounds until you have the length that you want for your legs. I'm going to do 3 more stitches and my legs will be done, or well, one of my legs will be done. And if you want to, when you get to where you want it, take your last spot, or from the last chain that you done, and go into the next chain and do a slip stitch. That way you can join it, so that it's a smoother finish. And then, you know, fasten off, so, you know, get your chain out. And like I said, I always end up having longer tails than what's actually needed. Like with this one, I take my tail, and I think this is one reason why you don't really need stuffing for the legs, because I have my tails that I have extra of stuffed into the legs, which gives it more body. Plus, it's on top of that, you know, it's the same color yarn, so if there's any gaps, you know, the tail yarn will cover it up. But that's your first leg. Your second leg will be done the same exact way, and you just hold them side by side once you get them to where you want them, to see if they're the right size, how you want it. So, you know, your chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your single crochets around. So there's 1, 2, 3. No, please. 4, 5, and so keep on working. Blake, if you think that you can keep your brother from screaming, you may get out of timeout. Today is Sunday. Yeah. Originally you would have school tomorrow, but you don't have school tomorrow because it's a holiday for students. So. Yep, I don't know what holiday, but they said that it was a student holiday, so enjoy the 3-day weekend. After I'm done making my videos, okay? Alright. Sorry, so I was talking to my youngin. Once you get to where you want your project to be, the size, you know, like I said, constantly measure it. As you can see here, one size, or they both pretty much are the same size. See, you want them to be the same size. Once you got them the same size, you know, take and do your slip stitch on the leg so that, you know, you don't lose your spot. Now, this one, we're not going to finish off like we did the other one. This one, in fact, we are going to take and we're going to chain one after you've done your slip stitch. Now you're going to bring your other leg up and you're going to get them to where they're even, and you're going to take and you're going to single crochet into the top of that spot. And now you're going to single crochet around, all the way around each of the stitches from one side to the other. And I will show you how it's actually going to look once it's done. You might be thinking that's kind of crazy idea, but this right here actually connects your legs together, gives them a little bit of an extra length to them as well, which is exactly what I like. I like that extra little bit of length that you get after you crochet around. So once you've finished crocheting back to where you've joined, you're going to take and you're going to go ahead and just single crochet into that next leg, top of the next leg. And you're going to single crochet around it back to where you made your first chain. So keep doing your singles all the way around. And what you're going to do now is you're going to slip stitch over on top of that chain. And now fasten off. So there is your first set of legs. And as you can tell, it actually has a roundness to it, which makes it perfect for whenever you go to join it on the body, because it's the perfect size. I should have left my tail longer because I used my tail to work it into the project. You can connect your feet however you want. I usually just use my crochet needle, and I just, work around it. You can do it however you want. It doesn't matter. If you like to use the needle meant for doing this, you can do it. But you go around each of the single crochets with your thread to join onto your body. Once you get it how you want it, you take, and one main reason why I leave the tails is to help with that as well. So once your feet are connected where you want them on the body, you'll make the other leg the exact same way, and you'll connect it the exact same way. After you go all the way around, though, you take and you just tie it into place. If you don't like your placement of the feet, you can always, before you tie it down, always undo it and redo it. So there is the body and the front legs. I'm not going to worry about the back legs. They're done the same exact way as the front legs. Now for the tail, or for the shell, you're going to do it the exact way that you did the body. And hold on, because I gotta find. There's my brown. So we only did 3 rows. So if you want to go back to the beginning of the video where I talked about how to do the shell, you can, because it is getting really hot in the room and I want to turn on the air, so I'm going to go ahead and work the 3 rows that we worked on the first half of the video, doing the magic circle, the next row, and then the following row. And whenever I get that row done, I'll come back and we can work on how you're going to connect the two, the shell to the body. I'll be right. Alright, I am back, and as you can tell, I have finished the rows that we were working on for the shell. As you can tell, the shell fits perfectly onto the top of the body. Okay, you're not gonna finish off, so you're gonna keep working after you finished your shell. Alright, so go wherever you want to join your shell to your body, which I like to come up here by the head, since I like to finish off by the head. Now you're going to come over here and you're going to find the first stitch over here by the head. And you're going to take your needle and go through where you're going to go through that stitch first, and then you're going to come over here to this stitch for your head and work it in to there. So you're going to pull it all the way through, and you're going to single crochet, and now you're going to single crochet through both sets of stitches all the way around. And I'll let you know whenever you need to start stuffing, which I don't stuff until I'm almost finished. So the next stitch, which I mean it's actually kind of hard to see with the darker thread, but your next stitch, come in, and single crochet. And this will give you the rim look around your turtle. Just keep on going around every stitch, because your turtle body and your turtle shell should be the exact same stitches, because you want to work them out to be the exact same, which is the reason why I said to, you know, go and back to the beginning of the video to find out how to do the body. So again, if you forgot, so you could get it done the proper way, and your shell will be identical to your body. It'll fit perfect on there. It'll look kind of funny at first as you're going, but once you start to add your stuffing, which has I'll let you know whenever it's time to do that, it'll do just fine. I'm actually not planning on keeping the turtle that I'm making now, because I don't have stuffing. So I'm just doing this so that I could actually help out y'all on how to get it done. So far, here's the rim of the turtle. As you can tell, it looks pretty good. Now you got your turtle body with the shell. My legs aren't really connected very good. It's alright. As I said, I'm not planning on keeping the turtle, but as you can see, the rim of the turtle shell starting to form. And what I usually do is I work until I have a finger space, or at least 2 finger spaces, so I can use that space to stuff my turtle. I'll show you how to how to determine if you've got plenty of room. I mean, it really doesn't matter how big the hole is, as long as it's big enough for you to stuff your stuffing in. In my case, what I'm going to do, as you can hear, I've got some very upset youngins, but it's alright. I'll use a plastic bag. It'll serve its purpose. Take it and, you know, I'll cut my bag into little sections. That way I can be able to stuff it better. You know, with this, you just take and you stuff it until you shape your back or body however you want it shaped. So let's say that that's how much stuffing I want in my body. You're still going to continue to finish it off in every row with the single crochet. I'll show you the cool part about working around the neck, because that does seem to be a little bit more of a tricky thing. Again, this is my own design. So here we're going to go here. Alright, so we're going to crochet in that last stitch that is visible there, and now we're going to take this and we're going to work it into the neck. But what we're not going to do is single crochet right away. So you pull it through, and then you go to the next stitch, and you go in, and you find your spot that you want it at, and you come over here, and you, or we'll go ahead and do your, okay, never mind. I'm getting confused here. The youngins have totally caused me to lose my mind. So go ahead and do your single crochet here in that stitch. Forget what I said before. We are going to do the single crochet. Next stitch, you know, do the same thing. Find where you want it at. Do your single crochet, and then you're going to slip stitch that last spot. Once you get your slip stitch, fasten off. You'll have a tail to be able to weave in, but it's alright. And that is your turtle. I don't know how to add on a tail yet. I haven't figured that part out, but I hope this tutorial was easy to understand, even with the background yelling. Hope you all have a great day. Thank you for watching. Bye.